Hey everyone, today we're going to be reviewing area of a rectangle and area of an irregular shape. So we've already done this earlier in the year. And if you're in my class, you know that the easiest way to remember area is by thinking about the square tiles in your room. So we measure rooms by square feet, and a lot of times if you have a tiled room, it's going to be 1 foot square. So you don't need to count every single square. You can do it a little bit more easily. I'm going to show you how. So let's just do a small room at first. Pretend all of these are perfectly even. And if you've got your room, you want to figure out the square feet or the number of tiles in your room. You can count them. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Got 12 square feet. But what if you have hundreds of tiles? You're not going to want to sit there and count every single tile. So we can just count the sides. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a little multiplication symbol right there, and we've got 3 times 4 equals 12 square feet. So it saved us a lot of time, especially if you have a lot of tiles. It'll save you a lot of time having to count all them tiles by just doing the top row and the side row. Let's do one more with the grid paper to give you an example of why we have area. That's a lot of squares. We don't want to count those, so let's just count the sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And we start with a square that already has a dot on it because we are still counting that square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now, when we have numbers like this, we can either do calculator or we can do it in our head if we know how, but to save time, I'm just going to do it on the calculator. 15 times 19, 285. That means 285 squares. So if those squares were feet, if this were a big giant room, it would be 285 square feet. If those blocks were inches, then we would change it to 285 square inches. If they were centimeters, then it would be 285 square centimeters. So let's go ahead and go back to blank. And now we're going to do the area of an irregular shape. This is when it gets a little bit more confusing. All right, I don't want to count all those squares. So sometimes you can't. Sometimes there's just way, way too many. And what if you don't have squares? What if you just have a shape like this and it's not squared off? There's no grid paper. What if you just have numbers? So let's count the numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side. Got 1, 2, 3 on this side. Got 1, 2, 3 on that side. And 1, 2, 3 on that side. And 1 and 2 on that side. That's a lot of sides. What do we do with them? The first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to break them in half. I know anytime you see an irregular shape like this and it tells you to find area, your brain kind of explodes into confusion, but all you have to do is find the middle line right there and break them into 2 shapes. Now we have 2 separate shapes. let's start with our blue shape. We have number on this side, got a 2 right here, and we've got a 3 right there. We're not going to mess with the 6 right now because the 6 is both of them added together. We only want to count the sides of this shape. So there's 3 on this side and 2 on the top. 2 times 3 equals 6. Now we're going to go down to this bottom shape. We've got to count the bottom and we've got to count the side. We're not going to mess with this shape because it includes both. But we are going to count, since this shape is separate, we are going to count these 5 and these 3. So these are the two numbers that you need. 5 times 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And then from there, all we need to do is add those two numbers together. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. So if this were a room, our answer would be 21 square feet. Why don't we check our work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 squares, 21 square feet. Why don't we do one more example, because I know that one can be a little bit confusing. Let's do another L shape, since I think we're getting pretty good at it. Let's not do so many squares this time. Okay, so let's count all of our sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That'll go on that side. Now let's count the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's count this side. 1, 2. Let's count the top of that. 1, 2. Now let's count the other side. 1, 2, 3. And now let's count the very, very top. 1, 2. Now, remember what I said, the easiest way to do an irregular shape is going to be to split it down the middle. Find the middle line and now break them apart. There's your first shape and then your second shape. Now looking at the blue shape, we're only going to need the squares in the blue. So that's going to be this number, and it's going to be this number. It cannot be this number because the 5 includes that shape and the red shape. So 2 times 3 is 6. And now we're going to look at the red shape. We can only include what's in the red shape, and that's going to be on this side, which is the 2, and on the bottom, which is the 4. 2 times 4 equals 8. And then all we do from there is add them together. 6 plus 8. And that's going to equal 14. So now let's count our blocks to see if our work is correct. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 square feet. So 14 square feet, or square inches, or square centimeters, depending on the size of the block that you're working with. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and I will be back next week with another review video on, who knows, I don't know. Maybe we'll do inferences, or we'll do something in math, but I will be back next week. See you guys later.